Hi, and welcome to my channel where I make dishes inspired by some of my favorite video game characters. Today's dish is inspired by Joker, or the main character from Persona 5. I'm not afraid to admit that Persona 5 was my first Persona game and was my gateway game to the Persona franchise and Atlus as a company in general. I remember about 10 years ago being so entranced and excited by the trailers for Persona 5. It looked so stylish. The UI and menus looked so cool, and I thought the ideas of each character having their own disguise and mask based on their personality was incredible. All of the characters were so intriguing, but I remember thinking that the blank slate character of the protagonist was even incredibly cool. I'm so glad that, for me at least, Persona 5 was totally worth the hype and wait. The game is a masterpiece, of course, and deserves the praise it gets, and I loved getting to know not only all of the Phantom Thieves, but Joker himself. It's so fun to follow along such a cool character who also has his dorky moments. Leveling up Joker as both a regular student and as a Phantom Thief was such a fun experience that I look back to fondly, and honestly, I have Joker's amazing design to thank for getting me into such an amazing game series. So when thinking of a dish for Joker, there's kind of one glaringly obvious choice that is hard to ignore, and that is curry. Joker loves to eat Sojiro's curry from LeBlanc, which apparently goes surprisingly well with Sojiro's coffee as well. I didn't want to just make curry because I know that many other people have already done so. I also felt like I couldn't only choose curry, because for some reason when I think of a dish for Joker, I first think of another food that he eats a lot of. At least if you're like me and you participated in the Big Bang challenges a lot to level your social stats. That food is a burger, from no other than Big Bang Burger. I have many memories of forcing Joker to stuff his face with burgers from Big Bang Burger and the poor guy failing, hunched over the table in agony. So my brain told me that we should mix together the flavor of Sojiro's beloved curry with a beloved burger. Therefore, for Joker, we're making a curry rice burger with some roasted potatoes and carrots, and it is sure to steal your heart. Here's what we'll need to make the dish. For the burgers, you'll need 1 pound of ground beef, preferably 80 to 20 fat, burger buns, unsalted butter, salt and pepper, and cooked white rice. For the curry sauce, you'll need more unsalted butter, a white onion, chicken stock, curry powder, mirin, soy sauce, and optional MSG. And for the roasted vegetables, you'll need about 1 pound of golden potatoes, about 1 pound of carrots, olive oil, more salt and pepper, coriander, and minced garlic. I also forgot to picture it here, but you'll need about 1 cup of cooked white rice. You can make this along with the burger, or you can heat up some leftover rice. This recipe also makes 3 servings, but feel free to adjust the recipe if you are making more or less. As usual, we'll start by preparing our vegetables at the cutting board to make sure that everything is ready to go as we cook. We'll grab about 1 pound of golden potatoes and we'll wash and medium chop them all. We'll also grab about 1 pound of carrots and wash, peel, and medium chop them as well. The last thing we'll need to chop is a white onion. Peel and finely mince your white onion and set them to the side for later. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with aluminum foil. Now that the vegetables are all chopped, we'll add our potatoes and carrots to the baking sheet. We'll drizzle them with olive oil, salt, pepper, coriander, and minced garlic to taste. You don't need to specifically measure these, more just eyeball it, but a good ballpark is about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of each spice, and 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Toss all the potatoes and carrots so everything is evenly coated, and then assemble in an even layer before popping into the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until fork tender and browned. As mentioned earlier, you'll need a little bit less than 1 cup of white rice. So if you're making yours fresh, go ahead and start this now in your rice cooker or on your stovetop. If you have leftover rice, feel free to just heat this up right at the end. We can then get started on the curry sauce. We'll start heating a small saucepan on medium heat. We'll add in about 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter and let it fully melt. Once melted, go ahead and add in your minced white onion. Sauté the onion for about 3 to 5 minutes until softened, and once softened, add in 1/2 cup of chicken stock and 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Mix everything and let the contents come to a boil. As everything begins to boil, reduce your heat to medium-low and add in 2 tablespoons of mirin, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and an optional 1/4 teaspoon of MSG. Mix everything together, and once everything is combined, remove the pan from the heat and pour the contents into a blender. Blend everything until smoother in texture and then reserve for later. We're making good progress in the palace so far. Let's keep it up. We'll prepare our burger meat by rolling out 3 patty balls of about equal size and weight. We'll then continue everything back at the stovetop and start heating a cast iron pan, griddle, or nonstick pan on medium-high heat. Once the surface is warm, add about a tablespoon or 2 of unsalted butter and quickly toast the cut sides of your burger buns. It should only take a minute or 2 for them to become a nice golden color, then remove and place on a plate for later. Next, we'll add in another 2 to 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and again let it melt on the hot surface. We'll add our patty balls to the surface and smush them down flatter with a spatula. Using a little parchment paper can help prevent the meat from sticking to your spatula. Once flatter, season with salt and pepper and cook for about 3 minutes on the first side. You can then flip the burger, season again with salt and pepper, and cook for another 3 to 5 minutes. You may need to repeat flipping to let the burgers fully cook and get a nice and even sear. For a medium rare burger, the internal temperature should be at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Once fully cooked, feel free to transfer over to your lightly toasted burger buns. Our last step is just to assemble the burgers. To assemble, top your burger patties with an even layer of cooked white rice, then spread your curry sauce over the rice, and then finish with your burger bun. Lastly, serve the burger alongside your roasted potatoes and carrots. And with that, we're ready to taste the dish's true form. This dish was so flavorful and fun to make. I can never deny myself a nice and delicious burger, and while a burger is generally a quite different cuisine from Japanese curry, everything blends together quite well. The curry gets soaked up into the rice and tastes like a wonderful complementary sauce to the juicy burger meat. The carrots and potatoes are also a yummy complement to the curry flavor, and they're so nice and tender with a good browning to them. Sure, the burger might be a little bit messy, but I actually found it fun to eat a forkful of the curry rice with the potatoes and carrots. I can picture Joker coming home with a take-home bag of Big Bang Burger and being slightly bummed when he realizes that Sojiro had made curry tonight. He wonders if he should have the burger or the curry, but then he gets a hint of inspiration and a glint in his glasses. Why not have them both together? He'd be so pleased with the unlikely outcome and would just have to introduce the rest of the Phantom Thieves to it. The only one who would be skeptical of its taste would be Akechi, of course, as he likes to challenge Joker on just about everything, but everyone else would be smiling and laughing as they dug in. The recipe card is in the video description if you'd like a more quick and concise version to give it a try. Like if you want a bite, subscribe for more geeky treats, and comment what foods Joker reminds you of. Thanks for following along.